It's good to be here with you this morning. I am from Texas. Actually met RJ about 3 years ago. We have some, I guess, mutual friends in Oklahoma, folks that are very politically active. I ran for governor in the great state of Texas in the March primary there. Thank you. I've had one opportunity to spend any length of time in Oklahoma in my life, and it was a week in Lawton, believe it or not, at the Limousine Junior National Competition about 3 years ago, and the barn over here was about 107. I bet it was 120 or 30, somebody said, in that barn all week. So it's good to be back, and ironic that I'm here in Lawton today. RJ, as you may know, is running against Tom Cole in the Republican primary, seeking your nomination to be your next congressman. He is also a longtime member of the National Guard and has been deployed to Afghanistan. He is on training this morning, and so he is not here with you. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak on his behalf. He called me several weeks ago when he got notice of his deployment and said, "Can you come up and help cover some of these campaign events for me?" So I'm glad to be able to be here and do that. But I also bring to you a little bit of caution, having just come through a primary race in a state as big as Texas. There were lots of sampling of what's really going on. We've seen Tea Party events for well over a year now. We've seen 9/12 groups springing up. We've seen the congressional approval ratings continue to plummet, and we go to the polls and we vote for the same candidates. And we're not doing it just in Texas, we're doing it all over the country. If we are going to get fundamental change, if we are going to protect, we just sang the national anthem. We talk about the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we lack the courage to change our elected officials. If we're going to be free and we're going to be brave, we have got to have courage to say to men and women who serve us in elected office, you will follow the U.S. Constitution or you will not get my vote. And Congressman Cole, with all due respect, you have mutilated the U.S. Constitution, sir. You do not understand the proper role of the federal government. It is clear by your votes that you don't understand the proper role of the federal government. But that means there's work to do. And to those of you that are here today, thanks for taking the time to come out, but there's way too few of you here. It's 2 weeks to your election. We've got critical work to do in this country. RJ is doing that in the Guard, and he is doing that as he pursues your nomination to be your next congressman. He has sworn to uphold the Constitution, not to vote for convenience, but to weigh every vote against the authority given to our Congress in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. I hope that you will leave today's event listening to these candidates, questioning these candidates, but more importantly, going home and having substantive conversations around your kitchen table, in your Sunday school class, at your Rotary Club meeting, and in your workplace. And reminding, I use the word exhort. We're a homeschooling family, and my kids would say that's a homeschool word. Mom, nobody uses those words anymore. Exhort one another, spur us on to do good work. And that means look critically at people's behavior and their actions and cast your vote on principle. We have this idea in our country that once someone puts on the jersey of the party that we tend to align ourselves with, they are infallible and we continue to re-elect and re-elect. We can't do that. Our founders never would have wanted us to do that. All through the past year and a half, I said what I bet many of you believe. The U.S. Constitution is the best blueprint ever written for a free and prosperous society. We've got the plan. It was inspired. It has seen us through difficult times as a nation, and we remain the light of the world, the most free and the most prosperous, and yet we are mutilating those freedoms because we refuse to adhere to that document. Freedom's not free. We give lip service to that all the time, and we keep doing the same thing. We've got to have the courage to get out and work for candidates who will keep their word, who will vote in accord with that document. Congressman Cole has not done that. RJ has stepped up to challenge him. I encourage you to study the issues, look at the facts. There's a little flyer on your desk in front of you that's got some key votes there. Knowing that the congressman voted for the bailout, knowing that the congressman voted to fund Planned Parenthood, knowing that the congressman voted for Nancy Pelosi's stimulus bill, how can you send him back to do more damage to this state and to this country? I ask you to vote for RJ Harris in the coming election. I know he would appreciate your support. He's sorry that he's not here with you today, but as I indicated, he is training with the Guard. He will deploy in August, I believe, just after the election. So anything you could do to support him between now and then would be greatly appreciated. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you today.